providing global energy and communication solutions.
Right now, it's time for your local forecast on the Weather Channel. Currently, the temperature is 57 degrees under fair skies. The forecast for your area. Expect fair skies Friday through Sunday with temperatures in the 70s on Friday.
You're watching the Weather Channel. Live by it. You're watching the Weather Channel, Evening Edition.
Here's a quick look at how things are shaping up for a Thursday. Let's take a quick look at what's going on with some stormy weather. Yet another stormy one into Texas, but two big problems on two coasts. A lot of breezy weather, actually just windy. Let's call it what it is, windy weather. We'll be dealing with problems and heavy rain, too. Portions of Florida, as well as the Pacific Northwest. And a little good news, the warmth in the middle of the U.S., that will be expanding. Many people will share that warmth.
Not everyone was ducking under an umbrella to escape the rain today in Tacoma, Washington. Some people didn't seem to mind getting wet, but how much longer will you hear the pitter-patter of those raindrops? We'll take a look. Hello and welcome to the Weather Channel Evening Edition West Coast. I'm Arch Kennedy.
And I'm Paul Emmick. We're watching a number of areas of wet weather, some showers in the Midwest, across the southeast. Heavy-duty rain. Arch has that in a moment. I'll talk about some of the wettest of weather and the windiest, too, throughout the Pacific Northwest. No real let-up yet. Another, say, 5 to 7 hours or so. The worst, the wet weather just offshore will scoot through. Things will gradually improve, but in the short term, more wet weather to come. All right, here's some of the accumulated amounts we've got from the system as the last 36 hours. Close to 6 around Olympia, close to 5 for Shelton, almost 3.5 towards Seattle, quite a bit in Astoria, too, and just a bit over an inch around Portland. Here's the deal, more to come. Very windy time of it as well. Our storm system, those isobars, those lines there that connect areas along it that have equal pressure, when they're close together, those lines are very close, moving toward the low as winds blow high to low. High pressure spins it out, low pressure drinks it in. And that pressure falls in a very short distance. It's called a tight pressure gradient. Pressure falls over a very short piece of real estate there. What means that was the pressure gradient force, that's what drives the wind, makes for the windiest of weather. And just as it kicks in, we'll continue to see the very windy conditions. Could be in for some very rough situations as a result of that. Even we'll look at some of the advisories for this region in just a moment. Now, the big story again is that one big glob of moisture. As that pushes on through, we get into more of a showery scenario. A little more showery. A bit of a break for us right now around Seattle and Portland, but maybe dealing with some more wet weather throughout the overnight hours. Not a great deal happening at the present time. A few showers are still kicking up, though, parts of New Mexico. That's one spot with a little bit of wet weather around. I mentioned around Seattle, it's been a wet day here off and on, dealing with some showers here in case you had to get out and make your daily trek. Kind of an understatement to say we were soggy, that's the deal. Rain gauges picked up more than 3 to anywhere from 6 inches the last couple of days here. Looks like this wet weather is not going anywhere. We'll keep the wettest of weather around. I mentioned just a brief break for Seattle. Still a few showers, but again, system scooting in will give us a ½ inch, maybe another inch. Could even see a bit more than that in some spots. A little lighter in the parts of New Mexico, even Albuquerque, noticeable rainfall here. Throughout the Northwest, problems even around Seattle with flash flood concerns. Flash flood watches remain in effect. Storm warnings from Cape Flattery southward toward Cape Shoalwater as well. Could see problems here. Then from Cape Shoalwater southward toward Cape Mendocino, gale advisories. Very windy weather. Also Bear in mind, 2 heavy surf advisories from Cape Flattery southward toward Point St. George. Maritime interests, take note of that. Record high temperatures, well, quite a few of those around Salem, Eugene, even on toward Yakima. A lot of warmth around the western U.S. today. Not too bad in toward L.A. at 72, 62 toward Denver. We're cooling, 44 to Denver tonight. We're in the 50s in toward San Francisco. So again, not too bad in Southern California and into the southwest. What about the day itself? Well, do expect to see the rainfall continue with some showers behind our front, keeping us wet toward Seattle and Portland, and some wet weather in New Mexico. Let's slip southward now with a couple of storms to discuss. Here's Arch.
One into West Texas and one into North and East Florida. That's the 2 areas we're really focusing on the wet weather here across Texas. Flash flooding is going to be potential, and we're going to see that for the overnight hours, as well as parts of North and East Florida. You've already received a lot of rain in both places, and we're going to continue to see that potential here with our 2 areas of low pressure not moving much anytime soon. Well, the wet weather into Texas hampered some things. In fact, we had a big thing going on. President Bush was welcoming Russian President Vladimir Putin to his ranch near Waco. Unfortunately, a rainstorm was in the area at the time, and it looks like even more rain is in the forecast. There's a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms through the weekend in Crawford. All right, let's take a look and show you the rainfall potential. Well, we're looking at definitely some generous amounts here into central, western Texas, areas in dark green where we could definitely exceed 1 inch or 2 inches or so here through the mid-morning on your Thursday. Also into North and East Florida near the Jacksonville area, we definitely could exceed 1 inch or more locally in some areas. So flash flood watches in effect here throughout some areas of Texas. Also, we have flash flood watches in effect into parts of North and East Florida. Well, as far as the rainfall, we can see some of that trying to push in here off the Atlantic into parts of the Georgia coast and the northern and eastern coast of Florida. We also have, along with the rain, gale warnings in effect for parts of the north and east coast of Florida, as well as some heavy surf advisories for the South Carolina and Georgia coast. Here's some showers and thunderstorms with potential for a few isolated severe thunderstorms into parts of Texas. We see one cell that has just developed here west and south of San Antonio near Zavala County. We're looking at a severe thunderstorm warning. Now with a look at the northeast, here is Paul.
In the northeast, a little bit on the wet side still, and a few areas of fog to think about as well. A few clouds drifting through, not a major ordeal, just a bit wet. Lancaster and Harrisburg may pick up a few additional showers, some near Buffalo at times, and even toward the Capital District, maybe a stray sprinkle here or there. But the amount of accumulation, not that substantial. Not too bad tonight, though, temperature-wise. 50 for Boston, 54 to the city, in the 50s in toward Cleveland. See a quiet start to the day and a very fine finish. A little wet in upstate New York, some clouds toward Buffalo, but looking pretty good toward Pittsburgh and New York City and Philly as well. Middle of the country, just a few showers are popping up here and there. Just a touch of the wet weather, but still some foggy areas as well. Some of the rainfall is now well to the north of Chicago, moving away from Milwaukee across portions of Michigan. We're also getting just a touch of the wetter weather into parts of Cleveland metro. Don't expect a major accumulation. Quick look at the temp shows us a pretty mild night and turning into a great day as well across the Midwest. All right, time for a quick look at the forecast. Throughout the Northwest, we'll keep the rain around parts of Texas, even into Florida. Additional heavy rain still a possibility. On toward the nighttime, the rain stays in those 3 main spots. Pretty quiet, though, through most of the Northeast. South precip still quite heavy into parts of Texas.
Well, your questions are answered on Weather IQ coming up.
That's on the way. Right now, we'll take a look at the morning commute as it pertains to Seattle. Looks like the showers hang around I-5. Same goes for Portland as well.
Greetings from the delightful island of St. Croix in the United States Virgin Islands. With surroundings as peaceful as these, people find they can breathe easier, even underwater. For information on the United States Virgin Islands, call your travel agent or 800-372-USVI.
No matter where I travel, home is the best destination of all. By trusting my muffler, brakes, and shocks to the pros at Meineke, I know I'll always get there.
At Meineke, you'll get a lot, but you won't pay a lot.
Visit Meineke for all your exhaust brake and non-maintenance service needs.
My feet have hurt me my whole life. And when my feet didn't hurt, my knees and my legs and my back did. And to me, orthotics and have been nothing short of a miracle. These are the Phase 4 orthotics. They're not just insoles. They are medically and biomechanically engineered orthotics to get you out of pain.
Look, every time you walk, your bones could collapse out of alignment. That could cause pain in your ankles, knees, lower back, and shoulders. But look how Phase 4 Orthotics BioLock Heel Cup realigns your foot and your entire spine, so you can reduce aches and pains in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders like magic. You'll feel an amazing burst of energy.
Just because of these, I no longer have pain in my feet.
You want to see something? I can even jump now, and I couldn't do that before, so my knee would be too painful.
My feet would hurt in shoes. I don't have any of that now.
Best of all, Phase 4's unique airflow chambers keep feet cool and customized to fit any size foot in minutes. Doctors sell similar insoles for $150 or more. Phase 4 originally sold for $39.95, but now on this exclusive TV offer, you can get Phase 4 for only $19.95. But wait, call now and we'll send you Phase 4's amazing peppermint lotion, a $20 value free. Relieves dry, cracked, itchy feet in minutes. But that's not all. You'll also receive a 10-day supply of Phase 4 joint support to help maintain bone strength and mobility, absolutely free. Plus, it comes with a 5-year warranty and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Imagine that's a $70 value all for only $19.95.
Orthotics have changed the way I walk. My feet don't hurt anymore. They've helped eliminate pain in my calves, knees, and lower back, and I'm physically more active. Believe me, the Phase 4s can make a real difference in the quality of your life. So don't wait another day to order.
To order, call 1-800-215-3500. That's 1-800-215-3500. So call 1-800-215-3500 and order today.
If you are an avid Weather Channel viewer, you've probably heard our meteorologist use the term outflow boundary. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes explains what that is.
On tonight's Weather IQ, the question is, what is an outflow boundary? An outflow boundary is a small-scale cold front that separates rain-cool air from a thunderstorm from the warm air in which the thunderstorm formed. Let me show you that in an animation. Here we'll see rain falling below cloud base. Some of that rain evaporates and produces cool air that spreads outward and collides with the warm air in the surrounding regions. That dashed line represents the outflow boundary, the small-scale cold front. Collision of air masses sometimes is able to generate new thunderstorms. That's why these outflow boundaries are important. Let me show you a real example of an outflow boundary on radar. You'll see a thunderstorm in the Miami area, and you'll see at the very end a ring of narrow green lines spreading away from this region. That's the outflow boundary. Cool air has flown away from the thunderstorm. And that's tonight's Weather IQ.
If you would like us to answer your weather questions, email us at eveningedition@weather.com. Your question could be used for an upcoming Weather IQ. And now here's Paul with a look at tomorrow's forecast tonight.
Okay, as far as the inclement weather goes, 3 main action spots. Northwest, very wet, very windy. And toward the morning hours, as our front scoots ashore, we'll get a little bit better behind it. We'll still be wet, but just a little more of a showery situation. We could see some major soaking rain for a while overnight. Still a bit stormy into Texas, actually towards San Antonio, West Texas as well. Parts of Florida still looking at this area of low pressure. It's going to be hanging on for a while. Pretty rough situation, kind of a gale center, not a classified tropical concern. Not out of the question it could become that, but more than likely just staying as a gale center there. It continues to kind of kick around here. Those winds are pulled into it in a counterclockwise manner in the northern hemisphere. Pretty substantial high pressure to the north gives us a pretty windy scenario. We'll keep the moisture here and a lot of wet weather, low country and throughout parts of Florida. Northeast, a great day. A few showers eventually, parts of upstate New York, but honestly a fine day otherwise. It's still pretty wet in the west with some occasional showers. Here's what's going on with Boston. Again, a nice day. Fine toward New York City and Philly, D.C., Detroit. A little wet into Texas. A few clouds hang on parts of central Florida, but a bit further north, even like above Jacksonville there, that's where the heavy rain will be throughout the low country, even toward Hilton Head and Charleston. Some clouds in toward Dallas. Outside chance of a shower. A little wet towards San Antonio. In toward Chicago, expect to see a few clouds hanging on. As far as St. Louis goes, well, looks like some good weather. In the northwest, expect to see a few showers hanging on, too, in the Pacific Northwest. As far as the amounts of precip go, well, we could see a few spots with maybe an excess of 3 inches. Could really pile it on here into portions of Texas. And a quick look at the overnight lows as well. Pretty chilly time for the interior west. Very, very mild, though. Looking at our highs here for Thursday. Time for a quick look at the weekly planner now. With that, here's Arch.
All right, we're going to head through the next 7 days, and we're starting with your Thursday. Again, more showers and thunderstorms a possibility here across West Texas, extending into New Mexico. We'll also see some more showery weather for you around Jacksonville, towards Savannah, Georgia, perhaps. And again, slow to move out of the picture for you. Light rain continues for Seattle toward Portland on Thursday. Again, some more wet weather into the northwest to end out the work week. And more scattered storms into West Texas. You're going to continue to see this possibility the next several days. Elsewhere across the east, relatively dry. We get into Saturday as we start out the weekend, rain and snow into parts of the northern Rockies. Again, more scattered storms into West Texas. Next system by the end of the weekend pushing into the Great Lakes with showers and windy weather here. We notice as we get into the first part of next week, cold front pushing east, bringing rain into parts of New England, into the Ohio Valley, and again, some colder air is going to rush in behind this system. Now, we get into Tuesday, the pattern across much of the country a little quieter, but we'll see more rain and snow into New England, parts of the Northeast. That will be the case into Wednesday. Next big system here, waiting in the wings, bringing in the rain toward Seattle, Portland, and into San Francisco, as well as the mountain snow. Well, mild air here. Look at these 70s as we head through your Thursday afternoon from St. Louis to Des Moines, southward into much of the deep south. Friday, no big changes here. Again, we're going to watch that colder air by the end of the weekend start to push into parts of, well, parts in the Midwest, 40s and 50s for highs, and this will replace the 70s into a lot of the southeast with some 60s, even a few 50s. Now, your overnight lows will reflect the same pattern here. 20s to start the day on Thursday into the Intermountain West. Again, no big changes as we get into the weekend, but as you notice, to end out the weekend, we'll start to see some teens creeping into parts of the Intermountain West. Into Monday, some of those teens may be invading the Midwestern parts of the country, and there you see your current conditions again across the U.S.
Coming up on the Weather Channel with Storm Watch, we'll talk about those 3 big stormy spots tonight.
But first, your Thursday forecast for Atlanta. It looks like another dry day for your Thursday. Partly cloudy skies, your highs reaching to near 70 degrees.
Ah, it's great to be home.
You're not at home, Terry.
With MSN, I'm home wherever I go. It lets me stay in contact almost anywhere. Hey, Howie. And comparison shop? Hey, Howie. Discover new music? Hey, Howie. And manage my finances. Hey, Howie.
MSN makes the web more useful. Come to Radio Shack and get a $200 MSN instant rebate good towards anything in the store, including compact computers.
But what I love most is instant messaging with friends.
Yeah, technology's making your life easier.
At Radio Shack.
This is Santa's Workshop 2001. Billions of wish lists come in from around the world, and UPS helps us navigate supply chain management issues. Oh, coal comes in for the Balkans for the naughty. Boy band figurines come in for Japan for the nice. Think about the logistics on that one. We have been a successful brand for centuries now, and for a number of years, UPS has been an invaluable partner. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, and he's working with UPS.
She's not your daughter, but if you give her a ride home after school, she might as well be. Carpooling on the wings of Goodyear.
Call 1-800-GOODYEAR for a retailer near you.
Wouldn't it be nice to think that lowering your cholesterol...
Nothing to it.
Was this easy? Well, think again. And start thinking about oatmeal crisp. As part of a low-fat diet, it may help lower your cholesterol. And its plump raisins and crispy flakes with a touch of brown sugar are a really delicious way to do it. So quit dreaming. Wake up to oatmeal crisp and help bring down cholesterol.
Are you near a phone? Can you take down a number? Then call to find out about term life insurance at competitive rates from a respected insurer, Protective Life Insurance Company. A 35-year-old could get a $200,000 policy for less than $14 a month. A 40-year-old could get a $250,000 policy for less than $18 a month. For your free quote, call now. Matrix Direct, 1-800-728-3096.
Make fast decisions with desktop weather by the Weather Channel.
Chief,
Can't cancel your golf game. Rain's coming. No, you the man.
Stay on top of things. Download desktop weather at weather.com. It's free.
Models with magic. Designers with vision. Stylists who dare. Architects who dream. Chefs who tantalize. Decorators with a difference. All the creators of style under one roof on one network. Style. Be inspired.
Fox News Channel means business. Powerful financial advice.
Wall Street capping its worst week ever as the markets exploded. What it could mean to you and your investments could shock your future.
The skinny, the lowdown, the buzz, the word on the street, the top CEOs and policymakers that make the market go. Your money working for you. Bank on it. The most powerful name in news. Fox News Channel delivers.
Now, here's your local forecast from the Weather Channel.
Currently, the temperature is 57 degrees under fair skies. Your forecast. Expect fair skies Friday through Sunday with temperatures in the 70s on Friday.
Pretty stormy time in 3 spots across the U.S. Incredible wind and a lot of rainfall parts of Florida and into the Pacific Northwest as well. And still very stormy into Texas. Let's begin. We'll talk about some of the active weather affecting us across a bit of the Texas region there, part of West Texas, I should say, and the hill country too, a little wet, with some storms into South Texas around Bandera and also toward Zavala County. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect right now. That's where we're pretty hard hit with some severe weather concerns, parts of Texas. Of course, we talked about a storm system just offshore, Pacific Northwest scooting ashore, and also that system there at the Gale Center there continuing to kind of cause some interest there along the Florida coast, Carolina coast, parts of Georgia too, the low country getting a lot of heavy rain. Severe weather concerns, I mentioned there's a chance of that. Parts of West Texas a bit wet. No reports of tornadoes as of late, but earlier today did have some reports of that. Wet towards San Angelo along I-10, may have to slow it down just a bit. Not much in toward Dallas, Fort Worth, but get on well to south of many spots here in south of San Antonio. Some of the wettest of weather continues to be. Mentioned in toward Zavala and Bandera counties. Still severe thunderstorm warnings persist with some stormy weather still across parts of Texas, just a bit to the west there of San Antonio. There's the other system we talked about. This is our area of concern. A little area of low pressure here still continues to kind of rev things up. Now, not out of the question, it could become a classified tropical situation or tropical system, but has not happened yet. May not happen at all, but the end result is still the same. Very gusty winds and very heavy rain. Jacksonville, incredibly wet even toward Brunswick, St. Simons, Little St. Simons, Savannah, the low country. Rain toward Cocoa Beach, even on toward Daytona Beach, around New Smyrna as well. Plenty of rainfall here. That will still be a story into our day. Heavy surf advisories, many spots with bad concern. Even coastal flood advisories. Because of the new moon, already the tide's up 1 to 2 feet, but you might even see some 2 to 3 foot surges there as a result of the heavy wind and just the problems here with the big storm system and even some gale advisories along the coast. Pacific Northwest, a bit of a break, just a bit of a break, even a few sprinkles here and there towards Seattle. More awaits just offshore. Some storm warnings from Cape Flattery toward Cape Shoalwater, then southward on toward Cape Mendocino, some gale advisories, and maritime concerns should take note. Heavy surf advisories, Cape Flattery southward. We're still looking at a pretty rough time throughout the western U.S. here for the next 6 to 8 hours. Otherwise, a little wet across the Midwest, a few sprinkles in New York State. More on this next in Weather Center.
There's a change happening.